Welcome to Conscious Wellness with Lori Ellis. Hi, I'm Lori, your host. This is the show where we dig deep. We rise above the noise, clear the clutter, and find out what really works. The positive, effective, and sustainable ways to create a healthier, happier, and stronger life. And I'm so excited to bring you this episode because I know you'll find value that you can apply today. And if you haven't yet, please click on the subscribe button. Please rate and review. Thank you so much, and I'll see you inside the episode. Hi, I'm so glad you're here, and I hope that you're feeling well, and I hope that you're feeling healthy and strong and happy and energetic and excited about your day, excited about your life and your schedule, and not just today, but your future. I hope that you're looking at your schedule and thinking, I get to do all these things today instead of I have to do all these things today. And I want to talk about that a little bit, just that change in word. The change of have to get to. Those words are significant in the way that we feel and the way that we approach the day. And then the way we feel and approach the day determines really how the day rolls out. And there's so many examples of that I could go into, but I really want to focus on the words today. And let's go back to the basis of where our words come from. And are they just programmed into the brain, and are we just spitting out these words because they're words we've heard all of our lives, or we've just said them so many times that they're this habit and this routine? But are they serving us? Are they serving our outlook, our goal, our focus, our ability to feel healthy, happy, strong, and energetic? Because that will determine not just our day, but what we're doing in the day that's creating then our future. And it's every aspect of our wellness, from what we eat to what we drink, how we think, what we're focusing on during the day, the kind of effort we're putting into the actions we're taking, the kind of creativity we're allowing ourselves to have, how open we are to the synchronicities and the opportunities that are coming to us based on our asking in life. And are we seeing them? Are we open and aware? So it all comes back to what we talked about in episode 1 and 2, the very foundation of every area of our life, because wellness is your whole life. It's your whole body. It's your whole being. It's every aspect of you. And there's all these different parts to that wellness. And instead of it being overwhelming, we can take a very practical approach to looking at where the foundation is set. Because if you've ever built a house, you know that the foundation is the most important part. It's the most important inspection, because if that foundation isn't strong, if it's crumbling, the entire structure is going to be not as strong and not as effective. And so I love to use that analogy in our strength, in our wellness, in how we're helping ourselves with our physical health and our emotional, mental health, relationships, every aspect, our finances. It's what's that foundation? And the foundation always comes back to what we allow ourselves to think about, because let's go over that formula again. What we think about determines how we feel, right? You can think a very negative thought and have a very negative thought practice, and you're not going to feel that good about yourself or the day. How we feel determines what we believe is possible. If we're not feeling very hopeful, we're not feeling like very much as possible. And we all know these feelings. I know that you've had these feelings just like I have, and we often have many of them throughout every single day. That's why this practice of wellness is exciting, because we get the opportunity every day to make these different shifts and different positive choices and changes. And so what we think about determines how we feel determines what we believe is possible about ourselves, then the actions that we take based on what we believe is possible. So if we're not taking action in a positive way, we can reverse engineer that back to what are we thinking and what are we believing about the day. And maybe we're not even aware. A lot of people aren't even aware of the fact that they're thinking negative thoughts. They're not even aware of the fact that they're procrastinating. They're not even aware of the fact that they maybe have a deep-seated belief about themselves that isn't true. So many people deal with that worthiness. I know that working with women for 2 decades, it's very common for that unworthiness, little monster to pop up in a lot of our thoughts and a lot of our self-talk. And when we become aware of our thoughts, not judging, not criticizing, and aware of our words, and again, not judging, not criticizing, just the awareness of, oh, isn't that interesting? How am I approaching my day? How am I approaching the appointments that I'm looking forward to today? Am I excited about what could happen and what's available and what opportunities could show up? Or am I looking at it like it's a drudgery, like it's something I have to do? So, having said that, if you haven't listened to episode 1 and 2, I go deep into how we can look at the thoughts that we're having. What is the brain doing, and how we can create an awareness and a consciousness in our thought habits and put into practice changes that can allow us to create healthier thought habits based on that consciousness. And then that, of course, is true in every area of our lives. When we take a look at what is happening and the results that we're getting and the current situation, again, without judgment or criticism, just looking practically at this and going, okay, is this what we want? Is this what I want? If it isn't, let's reverse engineer back to what we can do to make different choices and create positive change. And then that is going to help us create a new outcome. So a very practical approach to that, and taking the emotion out of it, allows us then to put different steps in place. Now, then, it's a process of peeling the layers off of the old programming, and I go into that in episode 3, 4, and 5. And we'll continue on this journey because it is a lifelong journey of developing healthier habits in our thoughts, in our eating, in our movement, in the way that we approach our day, the way that we allow ourselves to feel. And that's why I love the wellness wheel exercise. So I have that available as a free download where you can print that out and you can take a look at that and do that exercise for just the awareness, and then reverse engineer and start to create new thoughts about where you want to be versus where you are. Because where we are is a place that we can be very grateful for. That is a very positive way of looking at where we are, instead of beating yourself up, instead of saying, oh, I should be farther ahead, or I really should have done this by now. Those are very negative thoughts. And we get the opportunity every day to say, okay, I am where I am, and I'm very grateful for that. And listing what you're grateful for, talking about what you're grateful for as you are looking ahead to the future, to know that you want more, you want to do more, you want to give more, and that driving passion, that feeling inside of you that you want to create something, or you want to build something, or you want to grow your business, or whatever it is, that is possible, and reminding yourself every day that you get to take action toward that. So let's start there. Let's take that have to and get to, and let's take a moment to realize what that does in our mind and in our body. So if you look at your schedule and you say, oh, I have to do this today. I have to go to the dentist today. I have to go get my oil changed today. Oh, I have all these things to do, and these are things I don't want to do. Now, okay, I have caught myself more times than I care to admit looking at my day like that, because these are the things we consider have-tos. That we consider them drudgeries. We consider them, these lists of to-dos, when really there can be opportunity and adventure and wonderful serendipities throughout all of these appointments that we have, even if they're not ones that we look at as building our business or building our future or contributing to our dream that we're wanting to see happen. But they are part of the day. So when we change that and we look back and we say, I get to go get my oil changed today. So while my oil is being changed, I get to sit in that waiting room and I get to get on my phone and complete these things that I haven't had time to do because I've been busy with XYZ. So that is a positive way of looking at, oh, I get this 20 minutes or 30 minutes of time, this block of time that I wouldn't have had otherwise. So I get to have my oil changed. And then we can get really simple with this. And some people might roll their eyes at me with this, but this is very powerful in the way that we are helping ourselves to reduce what I call inflammatory thoughts and inflammatory feelings by taking a different approach. So what if you look at it like, I get to change the oil in my car, and I'm so grateful that I have the ability to have a car. I'm so grateful that I have a place to go and get my oil changed. I'm so grateful for the person who is trained and knowledgeable in changing my oil so I don't have to learn how to do it myself. I'm so grateful that I have the financial abundance to be able to pay for an oil change. I mean, look at the difference in that. Just the difference in, I have to go do this, and I'm so mad that I have to do this, and I don't want to do this. In that inflammatory thought process, I love to simplify everything into a camp of inflammatory or anti-inflammatory, because we don't want to be in the inflammatory place. We want to be in the anti-inflammatory place, right? So what thoughts are inflammatory and what are anti-inflammatory? And in the awareness of that thought, we can make a different decision. We can rephrase the thought in our brain. And then that can change the way we look at everything. And that opens up a door to whole new opportunities that we wouldn't have had if we had had that thought of, I have to go do this. I'm stuck at this place for 20 minutes or 30 minutes without being able to do what I wanted to do. Instead, I get to go do this. And I've just been given the gift of 20 to 30 minutes of time that I didn't have before, because while my oil is being changed, I can do XYZ on my phone or on my laptop or on my iPad while I'm waiting. So it is a whole new way of opening up that opportunity for the day. And now let's take it even further. So what if, when you've asked for what you've asked for, when you've been praying for something, when you've been listing your goals and writing out your dreams and sitting in your quiet practice, your meditation, whatever you do to bring yourself to the focus of gratitude and what you want and what you're building and what you're dreaming of, what you're hoping for, all of those really positive practices that are helping you to stay focused on your vision. What if that appointment that was scheduled that day was in an answer to your asking? What if that set in motion because you put it out there and you prayed for it and you visualized it, and then your car happens to need an oil change and you schedule the appointment at that exact time, at that exact place, and that set in motion the next step for you. You run into someone that is the connection that's going to bring about another opportunity or a collaboration, or you happen to have that free time at that moment to be able to make the phone call that you've been wanting to make that's going to further your business relationship with that person or help you to take the next step in your entrepreneurial venture or create whatever. So you get my point that in the moment of I get to do this, it changes your view. It opens doors to possibilities and opportunities, and it allows you to stay in that awareness and consciousness of what could happen and what's available. And the opposite is true. When we're in the I have to do this, we get into a negative state of mind. We start closing our mind. We get in this inflammatory state mentally and emotionally, and that energy then starts to bring about more negative energy. And you will notice this happening. That closes doors. You won't see maybe that person that you were meant to run into. You won't see that sign on the road that shows you an idea, or you may not, whatever it is. You get my point. There are so many examples to this. that when you look back on your life and you see the times when doors just opened for you and inspiration was there and ideas showed up, it was because you were in that high energy, expecting what you want to show up, expecting what you pray for to be answered, and you're in that intentional place of expectancy. That's really the message for today, is to change our thoughts and our words and our self-talk from I have to do this today to I get to do this today. I get to get up today. I get to go move my body today. I get to work today and create an income. I get to have ideas. I get to be in wherever I am today and stay in an inspiration of creating even more, of being open to all of the expected positive, inspirational synchronicities that are coming to me today. I get to look at my list of what I want. I get to look at my vision board. I get to look at what I'm asking for, and I get to expect it in what others would consider the mundane have-to appointments of the day. It is a complete shift in thinking, but it's a very gentle, simple way of changing our approach. So changing from I have to I get to, being in a state of gratitude of I'm up, I'm breathing, my heart is beating, I get to do this today, I get to be alive today, I get to have interactions with people today, I get to feed my pets today, I get to hug my children today, I get to love my family today, I get to take a shower today. These are very simple things that we consider mundane, that we consider have-tos. Switching to get to will change your entire life and your entire day by moving you out of an inflammatory energy, a very low energy, into a very anti-inflammatory, positive, high inspiration energy of expectancy of good things. Every day you can wake up and say, I expect good things. This takes an awareness in the moment of shifting those old programmed thoughts that are going to jump in first thing in the morning, like a software program on your computer. When you turn your laptop on, everything that's been downloaded is going to be there in the files. And unless you take those files out that you don't want there and upload new ones, then it's just going to be the same program. So that is a really good place to stop, because it gives you an actionable step today. And the reason I'm talking about this is because this is something I am currently working on every single day, of being so aware in the present moment that I am open to all of the things I've asked for, because they're not going to usually show up in a box on your doorstep, right? When we ask for something, it very rarely is just going to show up in the form that we've asked for. And that is, I think, where we get tripped up, because when we ask for something, most of the time we're going to be giving the experience with which to develop the strength and the knowledge to be able to have what we've asked for. And it will come in the form of a synchronicity of running into someone, of having an awareness in the moment of some new knowledge that takes us to the next step. It's like these next steps show up, but if we're not in a place of positive expectancy in that I get to do this because everything that comes to me today is in the answer to my asking. So that expectancy is in the get to, not in the have to. So when we're in the get to, we are in a positive anti-inflammatory state of receiving. When we're in the have to, then we're closing those doors. So we get that choice every day based on how we think. And that's where I'm going to say thank you for being here. And I am so excited to hear your comments and to connect with you. So reach out through my website, the contact form at elliswellness.com, or you can email me at info@elliswellness.com to get your free copy of the Wellness Wheel and the instructions. So reach out and I will send that to you. And I wish you a day of everything that you get to do and enjoying everything that you get to do. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. I'm so happy you were here for this episode of Conscious Wellness. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And if you like this show and you feel you're receiving valuable information and tools that you can apply to your life today, please share this with a friend. We want everyone to feel excited and intentional about their future. And we want you to get up every day feeling empowered to take positive action steps toward better wellness. If you haven't already, please subscribe and please rate and review. We're so grateful. And send us your questions. Let us know what topics you want to learn more about. You can send a message to info@elliswellness.com or the contact form at elliswellness.com, where you can also sign up for the newsletter. Thank you so much. Now go out there and have an amazing day.